Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. In today's episode, we're going to smoke some channel catfish. Lori and I went across the street, fished the river after work yesterday, and finally got into a nice mess of them. So I figured I'd take the opportunity today to put together a little video on how I smoke channel catfish. Stick around. Now last night, after we caught this mess of fish, I went ahead and hog dressed all the catfish. I just removed the head, the entrails, and left the skin on. It's pretty much what they all look like here. Now I do think I'm going to go through all these and remove the tail. It's just going to give me a little more space in the smoker. And you can't eat the tail, nor are you going to eat the skin on this. But for smoking, I like leaving the skin on during the smoking process. So the next step, once I get these tails removed, is to get these in a simple brine. And we're going to do that next. Now the brine that I'm going to use is pretty simple. All I use is just water, regular salt. Sometimes I'll use brown sugar. I don't have any brown sugar, so I'm going to use some molasses. And then the last little piece here is some Old Bay seasoning. So I'm going to put about a gallon of water in here. Oh, maybe a cup and a half, 2 cups of salt. Maybe a cup of this molasses and a couple teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning. Get all that mixed in there. Then I'm going to put the catfish in here and get it in the fridge for about 3-4 hours to get these brined up. Like my measuring cups. Alright, I got these in the brine here. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the refrigerator for 2-3 hours. And once I take them out, we'll go to the next step, and that's getting them in the smoker. Alright, our catfish has been in the brine now for just around 3 hours. I think that's plenty of time. I'm going to get the Charbroil smoker out now, get that set up, get these fish in there. Now the smoker I'm going to use is a Charbroil electric smoker, and it uses wood chips instead of pellets. For fish and poultry, when I smoke that, I like using fruit tree wood. And I think cherry is going to be the way to go with this catfish. If you're interested in this smoker, a few months ago I did a smoker review on this particular unit. You might want to go check it out. Now while this is all catfish, there is one freshwater drum, sheephead. Typically what I like doing when I catch sheephead is taking out the back strap in them and then boiling those strips in salt water. It's like a poor man's shrimp, especially if you have some melted butter and cocktail sauce. But in the past I have smoked sheephead before with really good results. And since I only caught one of these with this mess of catfish, I decided I'm just going to throw it in the smoker with the catfish. Now I know there's a ton of different smokers out there, and each has their place. And I'm sure there's a ton of people that are partial to the type of smoker they use. Any smoker will work for this. I'm going to run mine at about 220 degrees for 3 to 4 hours. And then maybe I'll check on them. But if you, whatever smoker you have, if you kind of follow those guidelines, I think you'll be fine. And again, we're not eating the skin. That's going to get peeled away and discarded once these are done. I just like smoking them with the skin on and it keeps the meat intact. It's not going to stick to the racks. It's just what I prefer to do. All right, the temperature set and the time set. We'll be back in 3 or 4 hours to check on these. We're coming up on the 4-hour mark here. I just want to check these, but I have a suspicious feeling I'm going to want to leave these in for another hour yet. Let's take a look at them. Yeah, maybe a half hour. Then we'll get them pulled out of there. I think what I'm going to do while those are finishing for the last half hour is look for an aluminum tin. When I do get these out, I want them to cool a little bit, almost to room temperature. Get them in that tin, and then I want to put them in the barn fridge and let them chill overnight. Perfect. All right, it's been about 5 hours. I just turned the smoker off. I'm going to get these racks of fish out, let them cool for a little bit, and then get them in a container. Boy, I can't even begin to tell you how good these smell and how good they look. Now you can see how they look, but this is going to be some good eating. You certainly can eat it warm. There's nothing wrong with that. And I want to try a piece of this. And again, you don't eat the skin. Oh, wow, that's good stuff. So there you have it, my first batch of smoked channel catfish of the 2020 season. These have cooled off quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and put this container, I'm not going to cover it, I'm just going to put this container in the refrigerator overnight. And then tomorrow I'll come out and I'll vacuum seal these in, I don't know, maybe 3 bags, because I want to keep a couple out to eat for myself. And this will probably be the first of 4 or 5 batches that I do over the next 2-3 weeks. I just couldn't wait to get that first one under my belt. Thanks for joining me here today on Schick Happens on this smoking catfish video. If you get the opportunity to catch a mess of catfish or even bullhead or whatever else, try it. If you got a smoker, see what you think. If you enjoy this content and other videos here at Schick Happens, please consider subscribing. Cheers.